What's up, everyone? I'm out with Ozark Overland Adventures, and this is going to be kind of maybe a new series of videos that I do called This versus That. And I'm going to start with one of the biggest questions that we have received and all the YouTube comments, all the social places, is why did we get this, the Rossmonster Baja LX, if we already had the Conqueror UEV 490 Platinum? If you've been following the channel for a while, you might remember back in early 2021, we bought the Conqueror. And we bought it for this moment right now at the end of 2025 when we are about to begin full-time travel. The plan at that point was to pull the Conqueror with the Gladiator and set it up in places as base camp, go out and explore, all that stuff. And it was a great idea that we pulled the trigger on way too soon, didn't know then what we know now, didn't have all the experience now that we didn't have all the experience then that we do now with more traveling as often. And so honestly, we kind of jumped the gun back in 2021. We bought it in the height of COVID, so nothing was discounted. And yeah, so now we still have the Conqueror. But the things that we have learned over the years led us to the Rossmonster. And so break down kind of the whys we chose not to do this and why we chose to do this. Now, the number one reason we chose to not travel full-time with the Conqueror is simply because our Gladiators don't tow it well. This thing weighs 4,000 pounds. And when you are towing this with a very heavily modified Gladiator, 38-inch tires, 513 gears, a lot of weight, towing this is trash. I mean, just being real with you. If my Gladiator was stock, this would be no problem. But having a heavy built Gladiator on 38s, it's just not ideal. So that was one of the main reasons that this was not going to work out for us. Towing this cross country is a nightmare with the Gladiator. Fuel mileage is single digits, like sometimes 6-7 miles per gallon towing this. Depending on where. Towing through the mountains is not fun. The engine and transmission and the gears, they just, with the Gladiator being heavy, towing 4,000 pounds behind it is just not a good combination. So, with the Rossmonster, what we have learned is this can tow my Gladiator and get better fuel mileage towing the Gladiator than if I was just driving the Gladiator by itself. So that's amazing. So I can get 13 miles per gallon in this towing the Gladiator, whereas if I'm just driving the Gladiator, I'm getting 10 to 12 depending on the wind direction. And towing this with the Gladiator, single digits. So that's the big reason. Now, the other thing we've learned from our being out longer periods of time is when you're living on the road, ease of setup, staying out of the elements really makes a huge difference in just comfort level, happiness level, all that sort of stuff. Let me just show you. All right, let's set a stopwatch and see how long this takes. And keep in mind, out of the Gladiator, it's pouring down rain, it's freezing cold, and I gotta set this up. So, and go. We'll put this here. right, where are we? Top. 4 minutes. I mean, that's not bad. And most of it was inside. I mean, 4 minutes, that's pretty good. Especially compared to some other trailers. Now, there's a few more little things that are kind of optional, but for the most part, this is it. We will reset the timer and go. I'll put that right there. Boom. For me walking everything, 60 seconds. And I don't have to get out of the truck if I don't want to because because of the pass-through. I can just crawl through the back and inside. We never have to get out into the inclement weather if we need to set up and get to camp. So that's a win. Now, inside, I think it is quite easy to say how much nicer this is. There's more living space in here. There's an indoor shower. The cooktop and the fridge are all inside. All of our storage is inside. Our sink is inside. We do have a microwave, which comes in handy when you're living on the road. So, I mean, again, cold, rainy outside. We're inside for all the things. The Conqueror, on the other hand, you've got a sitting area, which we actually prefer sleeping down here because it's a big, comfortable bed, and we never make the bed. So this does separate and put together as 2 benches with a table that's hard to squeeze yourself into. So we never did that. But big bed. Some storage inside. Another. I mean, this is where you're supposed to sleep up here, but my legs hang off to about here when we do. So there's that. But everything on the Conqueror is outside. The kitchen pulls out of here. Now, it does have a faucet, no real sink. 2-burner cooktop, Snowmaster fridge, dual zone, still running great. So, yes, big awnings, so we would be out of the rain. Big awning walls too, so we could actually enclose this space, but that takes a heck of a long time to set up. So it's not something we would do, quickly. And you are still out in the air. This is not a heated and cooled space. Definitely cooled, currently heated, but you know what I mean. And the pantry is also, for the most part, outside. Wow, we still have food in here. These are probably not good. Hot chocolate's probably still good though. But this is the pantry. You can access the pantry from inside, so you can get access to food. But for the most part, all your cooking and stuff is out here in the elements. One of the other big considerations for us in living on the road full time is being able to weather inclement weather. Unexpected hot days, really cold days. And the Conqueror, though it did come with a heater and an air conditioner, they were limited to being plugged into shore power, and they were awful. So we've actually removed the air conditioner and heat pump that was in here. This is now storage. We have had great success with the Conqueror using a diesel heater to heat it, but there's nothing you can do really to cool it. There's not. I mean, you got fabric, in lots of places. So there's not like it's a lot of insulation. This has a 12 volt AC and a diesel heater, and this works really well in fairly warm weather and excellent in cold weather. We can ride out some really, really cold weather in this thing because it is well insulated, has a really awesome heater inside. So that was another big factor, was the heating and cooling of the options. So for us, what it ultimately came down to was livability on the road full time. Back in early 2021, we thought this was a great idea, but we didn't know then what we know now, and what we know now is that that is the ultimate off-road tiny house on 37s. We absolutely love the Rossmonster. The Conqueror is a fantastic trailer. I mean, as far as trailers go, interior living space, all that sort of stuff for a trailer, there's probably not a better designed trailer out there than the Conqueror. It's just not full-time living. If we had a full-size truck to pull it with, it would be different. I mean, no, it still has all the issues, but this would tow a lot better behind a full-size truck. Between towing this with the Gladiator and having this with the Gladiator, we can get to probably more places with the Rossmonster than we could towing this up trails. I think with the Gladiator. So, I mean, all around, for living on the road full time, the Rossmonster is just, it just makes more sense for us. Now, the sad thing is, we do still own both. So, if you were in the market for a trailer and want a very solid trailer, and you want to purchase this above market value because we bought this at the height of COVID and can't sell it for what we currently owe on it, let me know. If you want to help the channel out, help us out, get an awesome trailer in the process, come check out our Conqueror. Be glad to sell it. Well, there you go. We get asked all the time, what happened to the Conqueror? I thought you were going to live out of that. Well, and you still, anyway, there's the answer to the question. The first installment of this or that is complete. So anyway, I hope that answers your questions and kind of explains why we chose to do what we did, the lessons learned, mistakes we made. If you have plans to travel, in 4 or 5 years full time, don't purchase the wrong thing now, like we did in 2021. So, you make mistakes, you learn from your lessons, and that's how you become smarter and a better person. So there you go. Anyway, hope this was helpful. If you would subscribe, give us that YouTube love. Check out the Patreon link in the description if you like what we're doing and you want to consider supporting the channel. Follow us on all of our full-time adventures coming up this fall and in the future. Check out the Patreon link. If you want to consider supporting the channel by buying the Conqueror, message me. And for all of our merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.